Hello. We're delighted to bring to you the Epiphany Long Range Plan Communications Update and Logo Development. As you know, we've been working over the last couple of years to develop a plan for our future to become the best version of ourselves by 2020. As a reminder, here is a short version of our vision. Ultimately, we want to ignite our parish, invigorate our members in their relationship with God and each other, and grow in the number of followers and disciples of Christ at our parish and in the number of people that we serve. Igniting, invigorating, growing is a quick vision, but it's also summarized in the words of our vision developed by the PPC staff and after much research, parish survey, etc. As we explain the new logo and branding strategy, it is important to remind all of you of where we have come and the overall aspect of our long-range plan and how this fits into that plan. In 2020, Epiphany is a welcoming, vibrant Catholic community where all believe they belong to an intergenerational family of faith and are inspired and challenged to joyfully demonstrate an intentional commitment to prayer, ongoing faith formation and outreach, embrace stewardship with spiritual gratitude as a way of life, and understand the needs of others so as to effectively serve them through our Catholic faith, updated ministries, resources, and facilities. As you know, there are 5 major strategies that were developed in the planning process. One of those strategies is improving our communications at Epiphany. The communication strategy is to develop and implement a comprehensive parish communication plan that actively solicits and respectfully disseminates information. In order to reach and engage parishioners and others, we need to simplify and consistently communicate in ways that are easy to understand and are accessible. There are 7 goals within this strategy that we are working on over the 5 years of the plan. Goal 4.4, which is communications, internal and external, are intentional, creative, and meaningful. All parish communication has a consistent look and feel that represents Epiphany in a professional way. This is driving the need to rebrand and change our logo. We pulled together a team of folks that understands the value of logos, branding, and how it can help us achieve our vision. We met multiple times in the fall where we accomplished much of the action items necessary to move forward. Today we're sharing with you the final logo we will use to further achieve the communications goals and strategies, including the development of the style guide that will be used for all Epiphany-related communications. Our communications committee is that we were able to pull together to achieve our goals is a group of experts that brought to the table over a century of experience in branding, logo, and communications. Lori, Diane, and Joan are parishioners of Epiphany, and Brenda and Erica are members of the staff. And then Karen Boone, we want to particularly point out, is an award-winning graphic designer and owner of Karen Boone Design, a graphic communications firm specializing in branding. Some of her work, besides the Epiphany new logo, includes Kentucky Derby Festival, Mary Hurst, Island Coffee Company, Quantum Solutions, etc. She agreed to help us in developing our new logo and branding strategy for Epiphany, and she did this pro bono for free. We very much appreciate her donation. So, who are we? We have no consistent naming, so the 2020 vision and mission were set and agreed upon to develop what kind of consistent naming we can have. How do we execute against goal 4.4? We start with the communications audit and we ask, who are we? Who do we say we are to internal and external audiences? Well, at Epiphany, it really depends on who you ask, because we are identified by no fewer than 8 different titles: Church of the Epiphany, the Catholic Community of Epiphany, Catholic Community of Epiphany, the Roman Catholic Community of Epiphany, the Catholic Church of the Epiphany, Community of Epiphany, Community of Epiphany, Journey of a Pilgrim People, or just simply Epiphany. Next, we examine how we present ourselves graphically in our current logo, and our story gets further complicated. Not only do we have a lack of consistency in the name, but we have a problem with visual clarity and legibility. In print, we use inconsistent, hard-to-decipher graphics, with a lack of uniformity of type and font treatment. We have an inconsistent relationship between the size of the graphic elements as it relates to the size and placement of the type. No consistency between the relationship of the address line to the primary title line, as you can see here. Our print graphics don't translate well to digital or social media, and so we haven't even used our graphic logo element in either of these locations. And you can imagine the difficulty of trying to make out our current graphics on a smartphone or a handheld device. When we look at our signage and directional communications, the finding doesn't get much better. No graphic image is used. We have a lack of consistency in image, not only in the type style, but in the personality. When approaching the church, driving south on Old Harrods Creek Road, you actually drive past the front of the church and the main entrance used by the majority of people, with no identifying signage whatsoever. Facility signs are few, and our signs are old, tired, and outdated looking. The street sign is hard to read driving by at 25 or 30 miles per hour, and does little to inspire or reflect our 2020 vision. And when people come on our campus, they simply get lost and don't know which building to go to.
So building off the direction set forth in the long-range plan, what logo framework do we use to move forward? Specifically, we want to express and infuse our logo and our brand, which is often the first impression, with a personality that is welcoming, vibrant, joyful, intergenerational family of faith. So how do we do that? And what are the have-tos or the symbolize and summarize demands of the logo? We need to make sure we explain that we are a Christian Catholic church. And then what feelings do we want to express? That we're welcoming, vibrant, intergenerational, family, joyful, outreach, embracing, and serving. And importantly, we want to incorporate elements of the old logo and invigorate with the new logo. So this is a process of updating, not starting from scratch. As we look at our name Epiphany, internal and external audiences may have both a non-secular and secular understanding of the word. A theological connotation would connect us with the concept of manifestation of Christ as the Son of God or infant Jesus. Webster might lead us to a different definition, a moment in which you suddenly see or understand something in a new or a very clear way. So in addition to the symbolize and summarize demands we reviewed in the last slide, we need to make sure we explaining Christian, Catholic, church, welcoming, vibrant, appealing to intergenerationality, family, joyful, outreach, embracing, and serving. We add the connotation of infant Jesus and instant and clear communication, and that's a lot of work we have asked our logo to do. On top of that, our logo has to work in multiple formats. Some standard forms of communications we use today didn't even exist 45 years ago. And it's important to note that what sometimes works in print or letterhead may not translate to street signage or web-based platforms or smartphones. What tools do we have to telegraph our message? We have words, the type font, colors, and graphics, and they have to be picked carefully, and their relationship to one another is critically important. Working as a team, the goal of the Epiphany Communications Committee, a team with a combined of 100 years of marketing communications experience, was to respect, reflect, and respond to who Epiphany is and wants to be in 2020 to be the best version of itself. Specifically, our goal was to create a new logo that respects Epiphany's 45-year history and mission, reflects our 2020 vision, and responds to the demands of current and changing communication needs. So I'm excited to share with you now the new Epiphany Catholic Church logo. As you'll see, it's very simple, clean, crisp, and clear. It's easily legible in all forms that we'll use it in, whether it be print, signage, web, or smartphones. It's welcoming, vibrant, intergenerational, engaging, and relevant. You'll see the Epiphany is prominent. We use an upper E, and the rest is lowercase for ease of reading. Catholic Church is secondary, but in all caps to relay clear message of what Epiphany is. The image, we kept the image of the mother and child from the original logo, and we added the star for Christianity, which is also represented on the doors of the church. This new logo truly depicts the manifestation of Christ with the mother. And the colors we used. Mother Mary is in the traditional blue for sign of loyalty and purple for royalty. You can also see samples of how the new logo will be used for print in the bulletin, on letterhead, and business cards. Again, it's very crisp and clean, consistent look and feel. We'll also be using the new logo on t-shirts and other clothing options. We also want to make sure the new logo allowed for the various groups and ministries of Epiphany to have their own identity. This allows us to keep the Epiphany name and logo and add the different groups such as Sages that you'll see here. Here's another example of the social responsibility group for print and the logo. And this is how we will use the logo in a black and white format. It's always important to look at the new logo in black and white to make sure it is clear and legible, since it will be used this way often in photocopying, newspaper advertisements, etc. This logo really pops in black and white. And in closing, we're excited to share with you the new logo, and we look forward to the future of Epiphany Catholic Church. This is an example of the old logo and our new, exciting Epiphany Catholic Church logo. Thank you.